Let's get everything up and rolling. What kind of music do we want? I don't want to use Spotify. Like, as much as that playlist was nice and all. Let's find something. See if we can find some ambience here. That's an hour. There we go. We're gonna save this for my campaigns too. Alright, let's make sure everything is up and running. So, just a quick to get started for anybody watching this on the VODs. If you're wondering exactly what's going on, I would highly suggest checking the first video, part 1. This is obviously part 2. But long and short of it, I am doing a custom setup, well, I guess a custom rebuild of the Carrion, Crown, and Tyrant's Grasp adventure paths into Pathfinder 2nd Edition into a 0 to 20 complete campaign. And I'm basically doing it completely by myself for the most part. Well, doing it by myself either way. Utilizing some ChatGPT to help me with some writing and rebuilding of stuff because I want to. Help me with images, stuff like that. But the general workings of this campaign are going to be either from the books themselves or from my own head, because there are some changes I want to make. And have been making in order to make improvements. This campaign will eventually run on Sundays once my Age of Ashes campaign is over. So, where we left off last week. Let's move this over. You guys can see what I'm watching on YouTube. That doesn't really bother me at all. Okay, where we left off was finishing up the rebuild of the Surgeon's Tools. And I'm happy with that. So, where are we now? We are now on Hergstag. Okay. I have to do a whole bunch of rebuilding of Hergstag, because how it works in the actual book is you're supposed to go there, and there's a bunch of Wraith children that you got to deal with. And then it ends with an actual Wraith. And the whole time you're trying to find clues. Now, these circles are meant to be where the children were killed by the Wraith. This was all blamed on the beast that is currently in prison. So the idea is you go here, you do a couple events. I think there's like one here, one here, one here, and one here. And then there's one here and then here. I'm adding a couple more. Culmination being you fight Brother Swarm, which is the Wraith, defeating him, freeing the children, kind of. Because you don't actually free the children. The children just run away. They can never be freed because of race. I'm changing that. Brother Swarm is still a Wraith, but we are turning him into haunts instead. And I'm adding more stuff and more clues. And I want the players to eventually deal with all the haunts. With the idea that maybe one day Hergstag can be reclaimed. I'm going to move my mic a little bit. Hopefully I still sound fine. Nobody's here right now. Yeah, nobody's in chat right now. But anybody on the VOD, if you have any questions, comments, feel free. If you're wondering what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, curiosity, stuff like that, more than welcome to. Now, first and foremost, I need to format. How have I been doing previous formatting? I've been doing that. Yeah, so let's do this. I expect they'll probably go here. I don't think they'll go here until later. I'm going to put a clue here to get them over here. They're going to know about these circle bits, so I don't have to really guide them that way. They're going to come in here. They'll probably go here, 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 back here. Here they'll get the clue here. I need to get them here. Maybe when they get here, they'll get the hint that here. So this is going to be renamed Hergstag. H1. H1 meaning hot one. And this was C. So this is the spike traps. What do I want to call it? Clever, clever, clever. What am I? Not clever. Let's call this one... I was on the right screen. Welcoming present. I'm going to rename this one Hergstag H1 Welcoming present. Okay. Oh, we're not going to lock it. And this one is C3, which is Alan. So this will be H2. Alan is a bounding hound's haunt. Bounding Alan. Okay, Hergstag H2 bounding Alan. I'm actually going to move some of this stuff too on my Excel to reorganize it, because I want to do it in order. Do I have a treasure in this place? Yes. C3 is Fallen Man, which is also this one. So this will be Bounding Alan over here as well. Okay. Because you gotta give your players some treasure. Okay, so that's Bounding Alan. Then I want this one. So C1 is the chapel. What is it named in the book? Yep, the chapel. Okay, so it'll be H3, the chapel. Hergstag, H3, the chapel. And this one is also going to have treasure, because you can get some holy water from the chapel. Then I expect them to go here. This is Carrion's house, so this will be H4, Carrion's house. Hergstag, H4, Carrion's house. We will cut, we will paste, we'll close, then we'll go here. H5. Martin's house is Raving Ravy Martin. Stick H5. Ravy Martin. Then we'll go here. H6. What is guard? Broken Rebus attack. Broken guard. Let's take H6. Broken guard. Okay, then we want to go here. H6. What was it? This is supposed to be C4. The Hermit's Tangle. The Hermit's Tangle. Which will be Elsa. So Hergstag H6. Let's tangle. Ooh, Karen's house, right. So I need to add one here, I guess. That causes a bit of dilemma, because no, I'll have the hint at Karen's house. Yeah, I'll have the hint at Karen's house. Elsa's the one who went there. But Karen's dad, I want to have maybe a journal entry or something there. Okay. Yeah, we'll do this one next. H7. Brother Swarm. And then obviously once they go inside, this will be H8. The Roddy Scarecrow. Stag 8. The Scarecrow. In which they finish grabbing clues. Okay, delete. And save. Alright, now we actually have to do the legwork. So, the welcoming present. Let's see what they say here. Well, let's grab up ChatGPT. 1 second, I need to sneeze. There we go. Oh, right. Let's start a new one for ChatGPT. We want to throw in the Trial of the Beast book and Rule of Fear. Okay, why is ChatGPT being annoying? Try the beast. Oh, ChatGPT is down. I'm gonna be annoyed. Oh. Because they've been having outages lately, it feels like. Alright, what are we trying to do here? Okay, so there's something we actually have to do first. We're going to add a new one. Hergstag. Let's see. The witnesses. Okay. And then we also need Hergstag, the opening. We'll put the opening there, and we will put in the witnesses here, just to make sure I don't forget. All right. Having encounter for my players as they learn about the witnesses of Hergstag. They already know about the witnesses. That's something that I need to deal with, actually. Harrowstone, no. Lepidstadt. The Barrister. Okay, they do know about that. Good. Using gather information checks. Okay. Followed with meeting the women of Hergstag and the role-playing encounter there, including, what does the book suggest? Relevant diplomacy, intimidate, or deception checks to get them to talk. What else do we need? Use the documents and the following to help write this series of role-play and narrative encounters. There we go. So I have the PDFs. Now I'm going to actually copy and paste the actual books in order to make sure it knows exactly what to look at, but also allows them to take whatever they want. And then I'm just going to get ChatGPT to help me rewrite what Paizo already has. Nope. I don't want that. I'll let it finish this. Actually, I have a couple things I need to change. Okay. First, this is a Pathfinder 2E Master Campaign being converted from the original 1E. So the rules need to be adjusted for that. The players at this point are level... What level are they? Level 2. At this point are level 2. All checks should be based around that difficulty. The players have also been in Leopard for several days, at least have been trying to find evidence of the beast of Leopard stats innocence. Then searching for witnesses from Hergstag is just the next step in their investigation. Like, even using AI, you're not getting a free pass. Like, you still have to do some work. Like, sure, ChatGPT and stuff can pretty up some things, but you have to really make some changes at times because it is not perfect. But it's a time saver. Okay, let's see what we got here. Those had dealt with mysteries from the beast. Next to the variations turned into okay, despite the bustle of the sea, the mention of Herxeg draws quiet murmurs and curious glance. Okay. Okay, when the players begin to search for witnesses from Herxeg. Okay. Gather information. Check DC. Don't want DC 12. What is the difficulty of level 2? 16. That would make it very easy. What does the book originally have it? 10. Okay, 10 is easy. So we will go with a DC 14. Whoops. Alright. So what does it suggest here? In addition, level players rumors that sites may not be Truth, some deals, the stories don't seem to match up with the other evidence found. Three sisters who once lived in her thing, never resent the outskirts of Lipsat, running a windmill. These are witnesses try. Okay, what does the book say they learn from the gather information? I feel like this is a necessary step. Yeah, maybe the barrister just doesn't know where they live. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if I want to use what ChatGPT has written here. I definitely don't want to use a critical success portion because, no. The three sisters, Geralt, Startle, and Flitch, who once lived in Hergstag, now reside on the outskirts of Levitat, running a windmill. They are the only known former residents of Hergstag and are witnesses for the prosecution. Alright, so when they choose to go visit the sisters. I like to have step-by-step notes for myself. Okay, we don't want that. The mill sits on the edge of a barren landscape. Its blades turn lazy in the breeze. The one starting farmlands around it are now overgrown with weeds. Struck around the village that was lost. That's not accurate. The windmill sits on the edge of Lepidstadt, which is a thriving city. Now we're happy with what we have. I mean, I hate how ChatGPT just adds things like that. What I can fix it. This location feels all. It says castle. Show it. Sure. It's not overtaken by urban sprawl. What does the book say? Okay, I'm gonna put this here and edit it. So let's have the ravings. Lepidstadt, I don't need this. Despite proximity city, switch over it. I'm not gonna have this part. The windmill remains a quiet reminder of the sisters' past. As the players approach, they agreed by an I don't want to say elderly. Middle-aged woman. There's suspicion. 2 others. Slightly younger women linger behind. This person makes a mix of unease. I'm good with that. Okay. So I want them to have 3 levels of information. Be split up into 3 parts. First part is what they tell the players without any checks required, because that's what they want. Next, the players need to make this motive check. They succeed, maybe not 3. If they succeed, they then do the diplomacy or integrity check to get the more truthful and accurate information. Do I need 3 parts? Yes. Next, if they get a critical success on that check, they are given the information of on which children live where, and effectively get a detailed map of Hergsag. There we go. Yes, I don't need the gather information part anymore. Sweet. After the players inform the women of why they are there. Format the meeting with the women as a narrative, or as a role playing, including intro from the women. Add in actions like inviting the players inside for tea, making them feel welcome and comfortable, have all 3 women take part, adding in different pieces to the whole story. Make sure to include places where the players can ask questions if they have any during the whole encounter. Maintain the potentially add in places that would be appropriate for sense motive checks if a piece of information in the no check section has any relevant context. During the diplomacy and intimidate section. Because that'd be really handy, is just they can piecemeal while they go. Ooh, that's even better. I might have to replace this. Windmill system edge left has old wooden blades creaking lays in the breeze. So the bustling city is just short this way. This place feels strangely secluded, as if caught between the past and present. Itself is well kept with a small garden of herbs and flowers surrounding it, offering a sense of care and attention despite sister's tragic past. Okay. We're gonna do that. As you approach, whoops. As you approach, the door to the windmill opens slowly, and an older woman steps out. Her face is lined with the marks of age and sorrow, but she carries herself with a quiet strength. Okay. I do like me some narrative. Okay. Check commands, assign speaker. Okay, we're going to be adding images as well. Create for an image of Garrow. Make the image more fantasy-like, less CGI. Also make it appropriate for an Ustalav setting. Also create images of Starl and Flitch. Starl and Flitch. You spelled that wrong. Flitchta. Similar style. Let's see how ChatGPT is going to treat me today with images. So far, I like. Don't mind Starl. They are sisters. I might change their order, though. I think this one is going to be Garrow, because Garrow is the older one, which I'll show them in a second. Let's see. All in their late 40s. The three lived entirely as a Hergstag. It doesn't really matter. I think Garrow's the older one, so we'll open this up right now. We're gonna go you first. This is gonna be Garrow. Pathfinder campaigns. Book 2, NPC. This is gonna be Garrow. Menu new. We'll guess this will go Starl. Starl. This was actually the first image made, and I liked it. And this is Flitch. Yeah, Flitched. Okay. The door swings open. And the reason why she might know why they're asking about her is because they've been spending a couple hours at this point gathering info. I guarantee you somebody's gonna rat. Okay, we're gonna do this right now. Open up another file explorer, Whispering Way, images, book 2. Skip these files. Okay. Assets. Refresh. Garrow Y. There we go. Create map record. Image Garrow. Okay. Garrow gestures, plays enter, and the interior of the woman is surprisingly cozy. A fire cracks on the hearth, and scent of freshly brewed tea fills the air. Warm curled chairs, and a table is set with simple but inviting fare, tea, bread, and honey. As players settle in, 2 other women enter the room. One is tall and thin, nervous hands clutching the edge of his apron. Standing in the window, her gaze distant. We will start with... I'm startled, towards us softly, after a small tentative smile. It's been a long time. They won't hear about Hergstag. Startle. Assets. Startle. I do like giving images because they allow me to create some character for the characters. Third one speaks without turning her voice edge with bitterness. I'm flitched. Let's get this over with. Sure. Yeah, that's perfect. No, that actually that is exactly the type of person who just yeah. See, might as well give her we talk. Girl pours everyone as she hands the cups around, she begins to speak. It's just a bunch of narrative right now, but okay. 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 I'm going to copy this whole thing. And then I'll just make some edits as I go. Chat frame. Garrow. Chat frame. Startle. So I actually have to confirm with the book if any of this stuff is actually accurate, because sometimes it likes to add things I don't want. So I'm pretty sure it should do fine. Okay, sisters share the basic story of what happened in Hergstag. Well, this is before the children started disappearing. One by one, they vanish and return as ghosts haunting the village. Okay, I'm fine with that. He was just terrified. We didn't know what was happening. And then one day, the beast appeared, carrying Elsa's body. It's like an nightmare come true. So the voice wavers as she speaks, and she glances northly at you, gauging your reaction. The beast away. What else could we do? It was the only thing that made sense at the time, but it didn't stop the hauntings. It's so harsh, but there's a tremor in her voice. It's just more beneath the surface. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, what do they give willingly in here? So you can see something. 6 children died. Okay. Seems fine. At this point, the players may question some suggestions. Says you can inquire about the nature of the hauntings and how the villagers reacted. Ask about the beast's behavior and everything's unusual, but the sisters answer these questions, but they're clearly holding back something deeper. Okay. Allow the players to ask any questions. Do not be forthcoming with things like mapped locations. Intricacies. Okay, bold that. At some point, allow them to make a motive DC. What was the DC that they have here? 20? DC 20, which is a hard DC. So 18. 18. Is successful. You do not feel like the women are lying. You do feel like they are holding something back. You could try to convince them to divulge what it is, or try to force them. Try to force it out. So I want them to know that they can make a diplomacy or intimidate. Yeah, 15. Normal check. Yeah, DC 16. Diplomacy or intimidate, DC 16. After the sense motive, give a +1 circumstance if the sense motive was a critical and they use diplomacy. Reward them not being complete jerks whenever possible. Okay, the sisters begin to talk to each other. Instead of to you. No, we don't want bold, we want this. Oh, whoops. This is why I don't get a whole ton done, because I like to, like, I swear I'm gonna put way more time into this campaign than my players are ever going to spend actually doing it. But I'm good with that. This is one of those campaigns that I might revisit again after running it a few years later and make more changes. Or run it with a brand new party. Or both. Okay, we'll just add it and we'll change it afterwards if we don't like it. Okay. Carrion, 2 days after the beast was driven away. There wasn't a mark on her. No sign of anyone in the house. We never knew what to make of it. Yep, that's a good one. We can absolutely make that work. We were so frightened. We didn't want to believe that something else was at work. Something we couldn't see or fight. So we blamed the beast. It was easier that way. That doesn't explain everything. The hauntings, the deaths, it was like something was watching us, waiting. We couldn't stay. None of us could. I used to face players, eyes filled with mix of fear. And it wasn't just the beast. Maybe it was something worse. I like that. I like that a lot. That is great. See? ChatGPT. It's coming back. I won't ask more questions. Well, the player is to ask more questions. If or when they are done, they critical exceeded on diplomacy, add the following before they leave. Again, reward them not being jerks. Okay. You have only made if you're going to Herkstag. Arrow stands retrieves a warm map from a drawer. This village I've marked where each of the children lived, where they were last seen, and where their bodies were found, if they were found at all. Reveals more of the past children would take, the hell where it all started. This is not right. Happier than we were going back there. Just don't let you take it. Just let it take you like it took them. Huh, got some. Don't know why that is. Something is aggravating my sinuses. Okay, do my frick tag with key location, pastoral talk, Bible. Please relieve the sisters. Okay, as you prepared. Quietly, heavy sense of finality in there. Yep. When they leave. As you, the sisters think you quietly have the finale there. The sisters know that uncovering the truths they themselves that you are uncovering the truths they themselves trigger to face. The version they provided will guide you as you. Like I said, ChatGPT, not perfect. Documents unfold it in Herkstag. Okay, we are good. We are good on that. Now, Herkstag is not that close. So, do we have a map? We have a map. Okay. Miles. They're probably going to want to go to Sanctuary before Hergseg. To be honest, I would. I think Sanctuary would be the first place I go. Okay, how long would it take? You'd probably go by water. Don't need an exact. 9 miles. P2E long distance travel. Travel speed. P2E vehicles. Okay, vehicles equipment. A Buta is not something we're going to use. Cart raft. Rowboat. Slave. All-speed carriage. Hot air balloon. No. Rowboat might makes the most sense. Solely because... Oh, cutter maybe. Passenger 6 is huge. I feel like a cutter is too big. Well, it's only huge. Yeah, huge might be fine. A cutter would be good. 6 passengers? What do I want to charge them? 7 gold? P2E services? Researcher, transportation. Ferry or riverboat, 4 copper per 5 miles. Okay. 8 copper each. It's not much. But depending on how stingy they want to be. It moves at 30 feet. Which means it can do it in a few hours. Players need to decide how they wish to travel. foot, 20 speed, foot, 25 speed, foot, 30 speed, foot, speed, rent, cutter, 8 CP each, 30 speed, 9 miles. By foot, though, 1, 2, let's go 12. Yeah, let's go 12 miles. 12 miles. 12 miles. 12 miles. This just means I don't have to actually check it later. Okay, 20, they can do 16 miles per day. Because it's an 8-hour period that they can travel. So 20 divided by 8, 2 miles an hour. So 6 hours. Whoops. 6 hours. 20, so 16 divided by, oh. Okay, so 20 divided by 8. 20 divided by 8. Okay, let's try this again. So let's go 16 divided by 8 times is 2. Okay, so let's try. Okay, it'd be 12 miles divided by 16 divided by 8. Nope. No, it's times. 12 divided by 16 divided by 8. Is that the calculation? Yes. Okay. So 12 divided by 20 divided by 8. Let's go 5 hours. 12 divided by 30. 24 divided by 8. I think it's just 1 hour less each time. 12 divided by 35 is 28 divided by 8. 3.5 hours. 9 divided by 24 divided by 8. 3 hours. So yeah, the cutter is going to be the best way for them to go if they're willing to spend 8, 16, 24. They're 3.2 silver each way. Do they need to save the time? Hard to say. That's up to them. I'm not going to be the arbiter of that one. My job as a DM is to give them options. Giving them options is fun. Well, I'm going to copy this. And what's the distance? They could rent a cutter again. 12, 15. Or 6, 12, 13. Six, 12, 13, 6, 12. Nah, we'll make 18. I could be more precise, but okay. So we got 18 divided by, let's get our travel thing again. 16 divided by 8. 9 hours. Now they're only gonna get one way. Either way. 9 hours, which is gonna mean 2 days. 1 day, 1 hour. 18. 25 is 20 divided by 8. So 7 hours isn't as bad. 18 divided by 30 is 24. 8. That is 6 hours. Then 18 divided by 28 divided by 8. Let's go 5 hours. This is slightly shorter. 24 divided by 8. 4 hours, but it's only one way. Only one way. Okay, ChatGPT, our next new task. I need your help writing and opening to Hergstag for my players. This is just to set that atmosphere. And set up the opening scene. Do not include anything they will encounter within Hergstag, but I do want to set the mood as a mood to what will end up being a haunted and very sad place for the players to explore. So the following to help as well as the books. As the documents. Okay. we're just gonna add everything of the pre-stuff. Yeah. We're gonna do that as well. Anything else I want to add? Just adding whatever I think might help. There. They arrive. Probably won't actually finish Hergstag today. Now that I think about it. I have a lot of custom encounters. Write the narrative as I would speak it to my players as the DM. Hate how it writes it third person. Ooh, stop. Hergstag is at least a day's travel from bid. This begins once they arrive on the outskirts of Hergstag before they enter the town itself. Again, ChatGPT, you have to give it prompts. If you want to use it, you have to give it prompts. You may not have to write the specific details, but you do have to do a lot of legwork on it. It is easier than writing it as a writer, but I'm not selling what I'm doing. Now, if I were to try to sell this, then that'd be kind of scummy in my opinion. It would be very disingenuous. That's why I'm also upfront about what I'm doing. I never want anybody to actually believe that I'm doing the bulk of the writing. I'm giving the ideas, but I'm just helping to flesh them out. To see, as you approach the outskirts of Hergstag, the journey from Lepidstadt behind you, the mood shifts. The road you've traveled gradually fades into a rough, overgrown path, swallowed by the wild encroachment of nature. The landscape here is starkly different. There's a palpable sense of abandonment that hangs in the air, thick and heavy like a fog of despair. So far, so good. Ahead, the village of Hergstag comes into view, but even from this distance it's clear that something is deeply wrong. The sun is beginning to set, casting the entire area in a deep amber glow. But instead of warmth, the light only serves to highlight the desolation before you. Fields that once surrounded the village are now overgrown with wild, untended crops. Stalks of corn stand tall and dense, their withered leaves rustling in the wind like whispered secrets. Houses at the edge of the village are dilapidated. Wooden structures bowed and broken as if the weight of years of sorrows crushed them. You notice broken windows, doors hanging loosely from their hinges, and what little furniture remains is being taken over by nature. Vines creep through the cracks and the smell of decay lingers in the air. I'm not sure about the furniture part, but maybe there's some furniture outside. There is cold as it should be. A chill runs down your spine, not from the wind, but from the eerie stillness that surrounds you. It's as though the village itself is holding its breath, waiting, watching. No birds sing here, no insects buzz. There's only the sound of the wind and the distant creak of an old swing moving slightly as if pushed by unseen hands. Not minding this so far. Even the light struggles to penetrate the deep shadows that stretch across the path, and ahead the village of Hergstag lies quiet and still. You can sense it. This place is not at rest. There's an oppressive sadness in the air, a feeling of grief so profound it seems to seep into your very bones. The ground beneath your feet feels as though it's holding on to the memories of the past, and each step forward brings you closer to something old, something dark. Hergstag is a place marked by tragedy. As you stand on its threshold, you can't help but feel the weight of those who once lived here. The innocent lives lost, the unanswered questions, and the lingering presence of something that still haunts these grounds. The village is waiting, and the shadows seem to beckon you forward, into the heart of a place where the past refuses to be forgotten. The sun continues to set, the light fading as you stand on the outskirts of Hergstag, and you know that what lies ahead is more than just an abandoned village. This is a place where the past lingers, where the echoes of sorrow still roam the streets, and where the ghosts of the lost may still have something to say. See? It's all about creating atmosphere. And I know that my players will love it. Narrative isn't for every group. A lot of groups don't like narrative. Actually, I've had a player quit this actual campaign the first time I ran it. Well, not the first, but the first time I ran it to completion. He quit in book 3. Because he didn't like how Paizo wrote the narrative. It's an AP. He didn't like the fact that it was a bit on railroads. It's like, you know, it's an AP. And this is a player who made no attempt at all to do more than ride the railroad. He didn't try to do more. He didn't try to create any kind of story for himself. So when a player like that exists, and they give you this BS excuse of, oh, the narrative, and he's a recurring NPC in my campaigns, and a recurring joke because of it, because, quite frankly, he made no effort, and the times that I did add my own stuff, he did nothing. He just sat there. He listened to the narrative. I made more than enough attempt to give him more info, but he really didn't care, it seemed. So when he finally left, I don't think he left for those reasons. My guess is he had another group with like RL friends or people who he was closer to that were starting up a game or something, or maybe work. He's working for Nintendo at the time as a quality person, so maybe work, but his excuse was see-through. He could have just been not having fun, but it doesn't matter. It was very obvious. Everybody else had fun, though I did go through a few random people who didn't work out, but my core group in general had survived. Next task. Okay, so we are doing the welcoming present, which is 12 Smike Snare Yeah, that's it. Smike Snare Spike Snare Hazards. I need to write a scene as the players enter Hergstag, heading towards whose house? Who house is that? Alan's house. The area is filled with hidden snare traps. I need to set up the beginning, starting the moment a person fails to notice one of the traps and sets it off. Also need an alternative where a player manages to spot one of the traps. After, I need Something to set a mood for the players as they realize they are traveling through a minefield of snare traps. Also, after they manage to get to Alan's house, use the documents about Hergstag to describe what Alan's might look like outside and how it has been destroyed inside. A combination of hurried packing and moving, thieves over the years, the elements and general decay of time. Give them a search skill check with a critical success, confirming that the place has been picked clean multiple times over the years, as well there being nothing to find. On a success, indicate that the place is empty of anything relevant. On a critical failure, indicate that the objects that are missing or damaged could have happened by a creature of great strength, rooting through the place. Also on a success and critical success, indicate that small animals have clearly come and gone, some of which made temporary homes over years, but they seem to be abandoned, most likely due to the random disturbances caused by humans exploring the place. See, I'm doing almost more writing than ChatGPT is going to give me. It's just taking my ideas and making some eloquence. Because this is not in the book. Like, none of this. Like, yes, there's snare traps that they talk about throughout the whole place, but there's no snare minefield. There's literally nothing written about Alan's house. Nothing. Yeah. Not a thing about Alan's house. So, this is what I want to introduce into the campaign. Which is the things I'm trying to change. Okay, as the players cross the threshold and Hergstag, the desolation that had been merely hinted at on the outskirts now surrounds them fully. The village is eerily silent, with only the faint rustle of leaves and the creaking of old wooden beams to break the quiet. The once well-trodden paths are barely visible, choked by overgrown grass, and the remains of untended crops. The air is thick with an almost tangible sense of sorrow, pressing on the players as they move deeper into the village. Now, at this point, either somebody is using the search action. If they're not, or they don't have somebody who has the Trapfinder's auto search, this is going to be crappy for them. This group's not going to be that dumb. I'm promising you that. This group is no, never mind. I'm not making that promise. Not making that promise. I know my players. They could very, very, very well screw this up. I don't think they will. I really, really don't think they will, but oh, I love my players that usually play my campaigns. I don't know if my current group's gonna play in this one. Some of them might quit, some of them might not. New people might get added. Old people might leave. But the players I play with now, they can be hit or miss sometimes. And to hilarious effect. Okay. Allow the players to use any search actions to detect the hazards. Okay, and I need to make the hazard. Wow, this is the first time I've actually had to make something in a long time. Okay. What are we making right now? Specifically, we are making a spike snare. English. Come on, we can do that. Spike snare. Why do I not have a spike snare? Spike snare. Because it is an item, not a hazard. Lovely. Okay, we need a hazard. Or we need a trap. Entrapping chair, giant fly trap, snapping fly, telekinetic swarm, titanic fly trap. We need a hazard. Bloody tears. We want a mechanical hazard. Mechanical, bottomless pit, collapsing porch, maybe drowning pit, and trapping chair. Graveyard hazard. Hidden pit. I don't want pit. I want something. Scythe blades, maybe. Spear launcher. Collapsing porch, maybe. Trapping chair. Sure. Let's use that as a basis. Okay. We need a spike snare trap. This is a hazard. We don't need an unidentified. Traits. Mechanical, snare, trap. Interesting. What am I liking? Stealth. We need... Do we have a -1 in here? Shuffling Hall? What's that? 4 pressure plates on the mirrored hall, rotate rather than stepped on. Okay, we're gonna use this. We're literally gonna use this. Like, almost identical. DC 15. Initiative 5. Hazard -1, because it's supposed to be a -1 hazard. Excessive hint spikes. Lacerate impale as enters the snare square. Disable DC 12. Thievery to deactivate 1 spike snare trap. DC 18, 250, hardness 4, BT 6. Yeah, we're just gonna steal this. We're almost like identical. Because why not? Object immunities. Reactions. Flip? No. Snap. Haha. I remember the code. Trigger. A creature steps on a... Ooh, please tell me this is not complex. Nope. It's not a complex trap from the look of it. Nope, good. Steps on a snare. Effect. The snare snaps around the creature's leg. Causing the spikes to impale them. DC 17, 16, 15. Wants the creature sees. Guessing that's a no damage. So let's go DC. Oh. This one wants 19. Why 19? The difficult 19 is a level 4. Building hazards, -1. Stealth and disables. Maybe I won't use this one. Okay, stealth is high. Yes, because there's also circumstances involved. And disabled DCs. I think I want to be low. Okay, good, low. Minimum proficiency, untrained. Yes, because you just grab a stick. This is just meant to be annoying, not actually murder. hit points. I'm gonna yeah, it's fine. Offense. Here we go. Has some suggestions in here. Simple hazard DCs aren't as high for their level as their attack rolls are, since effects with DCs usually have some effect on a success saving throw. Okay. Use the EDC and HDC columns for extreme and hard DCs. I want to be a hard, so I'm going to make it a DC 16. I think the 19 is unrealistic, only because this is basic. So yeah, DC 15, basic, reflex, saving throw. Damage will be simple is 2d4 plus 1. D4 plus 1 piercing damage. Sure. Critical failure. I know that's not part of it, but immobilize is an effect, right? Immobilized. DC 10 immobilized. Just like a bow, as if a bow got you. So on success, or so on a critical failure, it snaps down enough on your leg that it actually grabs you. Reactions auto. Reflex. Save. Is it that way? Save. Reflex. DC. 15. It's been a while since I've done this. Damage. Damage. 2d4 plus 1. Piercing. Critical failure. Effect. Immobilized. DC 10. Crit failure. Pretty sure that's how it works. Reset. None. 12 traps. Total. Snare. Okay. There we go. Okay, rending snare is now done. Back to the story. Detect the hazards. What was the DC of this thing again? DC 15 perception. DC 15 perception. If they fail to spot the traps, which is obviously what I hope, because why not? Like, these traps are just there to make them paranoid. Oh no, they take a little bit of damage, and at level 2 it will effectively be a little bit of damage, and they gotta be careful, and it's not gonna kill anybody. What it's gonna do though is gonna make them paranoid for the rest of the time. And if somebody isn't searching, they're going to be now. And if somebody failed to search, I guarantee you more people will start searching. So it's just there to create atmosphere and paranoia, because that's fun. As you continue forward, the ground suddenly gives way beneath one of you. There's a split-second realization before a hidden snare expertly concealed beneath undergrowth snaps shut around your leg with a harsh metallic clang. The force of the trap is brutal, yanking you off your feet and sending you crashing to the ground. Pain shoots up your leg as the iron teeth dig into your flesh, and the once quiet village is filled with the sound of your pain cry and the snapping of branches as you fall. I love that. Oh, so good. I'm just picturing who I'd prefer that happens to. If they succeed at seeing the traps, your eyes catch a slight glint of metal beneath the tangled grass just in time. You halt your steps, raising a hand to stop the others. The ground ahead hides a carefully concealed snare, its iron teeth waiting to spring shut on the first unsuspecting traveler. The trap is crude but effective, a relic of a more dangerous time when villagers might have set these to protect their homes from whatever horrors lurked in the night. And the reality is, they actually set them as they were leaving to stop looters and whatever was around. Once they start moving after the initial, and they start spotting more traps. So if they start like spotting them and such like that and can easily disable them, then I'll just do this and we'll just skip it. There's no point having them disable all 12. It's just there to be. Again, this is going to be another thing. As you press on, you can hear the village is more than just abandoned. It's a veritable minefield. Snare traps. Ooh. Each step forward is fraught with tension. Every crack of a twig or rustle leaf and a jolt to run through you. Results in a painful, perhaps fatal trap keeps you all on edge. Speaking of twisted mockery of itself, the trap speaks time when the villagers are desperate. Fear the unknown drove them to protect what little they had left. Vargon seems to resist your presence to the village itself, which is to keep the secrets buried in its horrors hidden. Okay, we're going to change some of that, because it's just the minefield. Is more snare traps. Snare traps. Lion wait. Scared half-hearted across the path. Yeah. Again, this is nothing more than to make them paranoid. They're never going to run into more traps. It's just, if somebody gets one, it's just going to set the scene. Once they get to Alan's. Okay. Finally, after navigating the treacherous pathways, you reach the remains of Alan's house. That's only if they know that's Alan's house. If they didn't critical. No, they'll know the houses. Maybe. I can ad-lib it. Treacherous pathways, which remains of Alan's house. The building stands at the edge of the village, partially obscured by The players may not be aware of whose house they are going to. After carefully navigating the treacherous paths, you arrive at a house on the edge of the village. The building stands as a dilapidated shell of what must have once been a modest home. The roof is partially caved in. The walls lean precariously as if a strong gust of wind could send the whole structure toppling down. The front door hangs loosely from its hinges, creaking softly as it sways in the breeze. Overgrown vegetation is in the garden, choking out any remnants of cultivated plants. Windows now shattered, stare blankly outward, the jagged edges glinting in the faint light like broken teeth. It's clear that this house, like the rest of the village, has been left to rot, abandoned to the elements of the slow, inevitable decay of time. Yep, I'm fine with Alan's house being a dilapidated wreck. It's had windows broken in, the doors left open. Like, this is going to be the one that's been broken into the most. I think guards might be the next one, but I think his guards. Cool. In fact, I remember that. Guard has been protecting it, and that will be the only reason that house is not dilapidated. If they choose to search the house, which they might. Especially if they know it's Alan's. Step inside, there is thick with the smell of damp and decay. The floorboards creak underfoot, some sagging dangerously. The interior is a shambles. A chaotic mix of broken furniture, overturned shelves, and remnants of hurriedly packed belongings strewn across the floor. It's clear that this house was abandoned in a rush, with little thought given to order or preservation. The years of not being kind. Rainwater leaks through the broken roof, forming stagnant pools in the corners, and mold creeps walls in dark patches. The few remaining pieces of furniture in various states of repair, either gnawed by termites or rotted through by time. Signs of scavengers are evident. Drawers have been pulled out and left ajar. Their contents long since taken. Any metal fixtures are either rusted beyond use or missing entirely. A few nests in the corners, just small ones once took refuge here, but even they seem to have abandoned the place, leaving behind only the remnants of their brief stays. Yep. Then we give them the opportunity to search if they do so choose. And obviously we do so choose. Hope that they do. That is not what I wanted. Getting lightheaded from all this talking. Okay. When they choose to enter the house. When they make a search check. DC. We're going to make this an easy DC. I see no reason to make this a hard one. So we're going to make this a DC 14. I'm going to make this a very easy DC. This is going to be a DC 11. I want it to be obvious that this house is just done. Like, I don't want them to think that this house... And I also, again, it's all about manipulating your players in a way that doesn't hurt them. It's about making them go, we may not need to search all the houses. But maybe I should. We're going to give you an easy win here. Why is it... Sometimes I hate how ChatGPT says, this may not be something that we want to post on here. No. Success. Critical failure. Don't need failure, because if you're a failure, you know you're a failure. You find nothing. As you carefully search the record, it becomes evident this place has been thoroughly picked clean over the years. There's nothing of value left, no hidden clues or forgotten keepsakes, just the decayed remnants of a once-lived life. You also notice that small animals had made temporary homes here, but even they seem to have been driven away by the occasional human intruder. There's nothing more to find here, and it's clear this house holds no answers. Perfect. I want something clear. Don't keep pursuing this home. It's a waste of your time. That's what critical success should be. It's like, this is everything you need to know. There is no doubt in your mind that there is nothing else to learn here. Success should be, you learned a bunch of stuff. But there could be more. And then critical failure is, you are so inept that you learned a ton of things. They just happen to be the wrong things. Let's see. Success. Your search reveals nothing of particular interest. House empty. Stripped of anything useful or relevant. Long go. A few signs suggest that small mills will lived here, but even they abandoned the place. Not so much village being left to the ravages' time and opportunistic looters. Yeah, that's fine. That's the thing about a Pathfinder campaign is you're writing so much that may never, ever. That's the thing about APs. The benefit of an AP is you know a lot of people are going to be playing in it. So putting the amount of effort that even I'm putting in right now is literally not worth it for most people. It's worth it for me because my number one goal is I want my players to enjoy. And if I have to suffer through all this to make sure my players enjoy it, then great. I'll waste all this time. Like, I'm going to be putting way more time to this campaign than my players will end up playing, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Let's see. Failure, which will actually be critical failure. Search through debris, damage, decay, making it difficult to discern anything useful. Broken furniture and scattered belongings seem to have been violently disturbed. Lean, you suspect that a creature of great strength might have rooted through this place. I was here, but whatever happened, it left nothing behind for you to find. Yes. Again, you find nothing of value, except maybe this is evidence of the beast. It was never there. These endpoints, I sometimes don't want to add. Like, they're kind of fun. So this is how they want me to end this section. Is with the house thoroughly searched and nothing more discovered, the ominous weight of the village's tragedy continues to press down on you. The echoes of the past are everywhere, and as you leave the house, you can't shake the feeling that Herxegg is a place where the living are not welcome, where shadows of the past linger and wait. It feels like every time I read them, it feels cliche. Might be the best way of putting it. It feels cliche. I like them sometimes, but this content may violate our usage policies. Did we get it wrong? Please tell us by giving us a thumb down. I don't feel like it's against usage policy. So I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, I'm not going to give any more extra stuff. H1 welcoming present is done. Okay. Next. Next task. This tea is done. Time for next tea. Ooh, that was really cold. It's a fresh one. So this one is supposed to cover the Fallen Man? Yeah, this is supposed to be the Fallen Man. Carrion's house. Yeah, this is supposed to be the Fallen Man. Alright. I don't need immobilize. I need this still. What are we supposed to be doing with this one? We're supposed to be having a Bounding Hounds. P2E, Bounding Hounds. Okay. This next encounter is meant to introduce the players to their first child haunt, potentially. Is comprised of the following elements. Okay, first off, let's go realize. They need to make a perception check. And make a perception check to notice what looks like a scarecrow. But on a critical success, they spot it for what it truly is: the remains of a person. All right. The next element is the next element is if the players missed spotting the dead body, they instead need to save against a snare trap from the previous example. The next element is them searching the body. But before they can fully search, something happens. This next element is a complex haunt. It is based on the Bounding Hounds haunt, but instead of hounds, it is... How does Bounding Hounds work? Is the phantom of a male human child. Okay, how's Bounding Haunt works? Routine. 3 actions each round for each hound disabled. It begins the encounter with a horrific scream. Well, we're just going to put this here. This is what we're basing it off of. Horrific scream that has the potential to damage and frighten the players. After which combat begins. The next element I want is the description of the first time the phantom child actually attacks. The child screams, manifesting how many? Manifesting 2 additional copies of himself that run through the players, causing them to feel as if their life force is drained. The next element follows after combat is over, and the players finish searching the body. Oh no. Combat. They're not gonna be able to banish. Yeah. Combat. Next element follows after combat when they attempt to permanently disable the phantom child haunt. As a narrative, explain to the players that the haunt itself can be calmed, but they will not. But it appears to be bound to this place by something else, potentially whatever created it, whatever killed or created it. The next element is when they finish looting the dead man. In a narrative, describe what they find. Under the treasure section below. Use the documents and the following and what follows to assist in writing this encounter. See, like, this is a lot of work just to create prompts, and I'm okay with that. Okay, what do we have for treasure here? Okay, he wears a turquoise. All that thong around his neck, carries some 3 silver pieces and 4 copper pieces. Silver coins. They might not understand pieces. Coins. And a small silver pocket knife. Silver plated pocket knife. And a set of thieves' tools in his pockets. Alright. Let's go chat to GPT. What do you got for me? This may or may not be the final thing I work on today. It is 3:44 and I like to end at 4, so it's hard to say. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Phantom Child Haunt, setting the scene. This place continues to expand Hergside. Villages eerie silence weighs heavily on them. The overgrown paths and other buildings create a sense of isolation as if the village itself has been forgotten by the world. The wind stirs the tall grass. A rustling sound that almost seems to whisper warnings to the intruders. Sure. I like atmosphere. The cliche at the end I don't like. The cliche at the beginning I love. Okay. Roll for people with the search action active. Critical success. Success. Failure. We're just gonna go DC 16, I think. Just standard DC for this level, yeah. DC 16 perception. Alright. As you approach when something settling, the scarecrow isn't made of straw. What you first thought were wooden limbs are actually the right bones of a man. His leg is still caught. It's a bear trap. The cruel jars clamped tightly around his ankle. The clothes hanging as if nothing more than rags and stench of decay hangs in the air. Okay. Head of the path north, what appears to be an old scarecrow. His hair is fluttering gently in the breeze. It's slumped over, almost bending, overgrowth. Means a mistake. Okay. Either way, they get to get away from the trap. If the players fail to spot the crow as a dead body, if they don't take precautions, move past. Okay, I'm just going to copy paste it so I can edit. As you move down the path, one of your party's foot snake catches something hidden in the undergrowth. Should snap at the snare trap, similar to ones you encountered before, spring up. On the ground, the trap clamps around your leg with brutal force and jolt of pain through your body. When you land, you find yourself face to face with a rotting corpse. Again, it's all about creating the atmosphere, which is just so much fun. Means something feels off. As they are searching the body. I should probably write something for Elise's house too. I'll do that afterwards. Something feels off. The air grows colder and the sun is suddenly broken by a piercing, horrific scream. The sound is unnatural, filled with anguish and rage. It seems to come from everywhere at once. Your breath catches your throat as the scream vibrates through your very bones. Trigger Alan Hunt. Bestiary, we need a Bounding Hounds. Bounding Hounds. Dark Archive. Do I not have Dark Archive? Oh. Or I can just, I don't know, turn off all the different things I've got activated. We're gonna do that, because it's literally gonna be Bounding Hounds, but redone. Oh, we're gonna hold off on doing this part. When Alan first attacks a player. The scream dies away, the form of a young boy emerges before you. His face is twisted, mask of fear and anger. A spectral child floats a few inches above the ground, his hollow eyes locked onto you. When he lets out another scream, and two additional copies of the boy split off from his form, each rush at you with terrifying speed. That's good. Initiative. Though from passing through your bodies as if you weren't there. Things is far from harmless. As the ghosts move through you, it feels as though they're draining the very life from your veins. Cold hull emptiness spreads through your limbs, sapping your strength and filling you with dread. Cool. Because I want to give these haunts personality. After combat, remains phantom child, he remains in a room quiet where the boy's ghostly form lingers, not fully dissipating as you might expect. However, is near the spot where the body lies, no longer filled with rage, but with a deep, haunting sadness. When they attempt to disable the haunt, one is, do I want a cult on this one? It's not going to be nature. It's going to be diplomacy. Yeah, diplomacy. Won't be expert. Will need to be trained to calm each phantom. Yeah. When they attempt to disable the haunt. Yeah. If they make a DC occultism check. This haunt is not bound to simple anger or unfinished business, tethered to the place. Rest, it seems bound to the spot and able to move or into whatever holds it. Let's see. Similar unfinished business. Towed to this place by some darker. This appears not at rest. It seems to be bound to this place. So unable to move on until whatever holds it dealt with. I'll get the DC for that later. When they loot the body. Has become by the flung dead and whether so claims. Okay. The magazine once for his clothes are little more than tired remnants, but they still hold a few small treasures. On his neck is a simple leather thong from which hangs a small turquoise stone. Smooth, clearly carried for years in his pockets. Carried for years. In his pockets, you find 3 silver coins and 4 copper coins, along with a small silver-plated pocket knife. You find a set of thieves' tools still intact, though slightly corroded from years of exposure. I don't need that. Okay. It's Elsa's house, right? Yeah. When they continue on and make it to Elsa's house, which they will expect to find Elsa, but Elsa will not be there. Create for me an image of the Phantom Child. Sure. It's not horrible. I'm good with it, actually. It's got the 3. And that's really the key thing here, is it shows us the 2 phantoms that aren't quite the same as him, which I kind of like that idea. This does not go to NPCs. This goes to monsters. And this is going to be Alan. Poor Alan. Okay, so we need to finish making this. Building hazards. Okay, so we only got 3 minutes left. Let's see if we can burn through this. Alan is supposed to be a level 1. Okay. We'll do this and then we'll call it. We won't do Elsa's today. We'll do Elsa's tomorrow. Stealth and disabled DCs. We want this to be very high. Or extreme, because we don't want him to be spotted. He will be level 1. But his disable DC is going to be high instead. Defenses are bounty and hounds. I guess you can defeat them. They were originally 34, so we're going to make them 16. They are... Okay, 0 will, so we'll keep the 0 will. Their high save was 26, yeah. So we're going to go with 10. This one is set at 20. So it'll now be 4. There's no hardness. Hit points was 60. Why is it 60? Oh, there's 3 of them. that makes sense. So they'll go 2/3. So 30, 25 2/3 is go on the lower side. We'll go 16 each. Scream trigger. Alan manifests and screams loudly, dealing. It did 3d10 plus 16, so we're now doing 1d6 plus 3. 1d6 plus 3 sonic damage, all 30 feet of Alan. And we're going to rename this to Alan. Phantom Child. The fortitude save was 33, so we're doing 17. It's additionally frightened 2. Yes. Fortitude save, fortitude, DC 17, basic, sonic damage, so damage, 1d6 plus 3 sonic. Yep, 1d6 plus 3 sonic. On a failed check, okay. Failed. Effect. I don't think I need a capitalist effect. Frightened. 2. Failure. Crit. Failure. Gets 9 actions. Travelers reaction each round for each. Alan. Changing the stall to Alan's actually just amusing me. Use 3 actions to stride 40 feet after creatures in the room, passing through Tristan's movement if possible. The Alan moves through. Takes 2d8 plus 7. Okay, so it brings it down by a lot. So it goes from 13 to a 5 on this one. That's a difference of 8. Well, I can't bring it down that much. So bring it down as low as I can. 1d4 plus 1. Yeah, we'll do 1d4 plus 1. It's running a high DC. Let's bring the DC down to a 17. Just to be kind. Once per round, no matter how many times the Alan moves through their space. There's no point having any kind of like now I'll have to make a battle map for this too. We'll do this and we'll just continue this next week. I'll find a map as part of next week. Reflex, save, reflex, DC, 17, basic. Is it negative damage? Yeah. Negative damage. 4 plus 1 negative. And that's fine. Then we'll have to change Alan's look. Okay, next week. To be worked on next. Hergstag H2 bounding Alan. Battle map. Add image to Alan. Bestiary. Create treasure parcel. Field battle map for Alan encounter. What else do I need to do? Encounter entry for 3 Allens. I think that's it. Reset 1 day. Okay, and that's where we will call it. We will save this. So I have that for tomorrow. And yeah, so anybody watching the VODs, because I don't have any chatters, so I'm going to assume there are none. This will continue on in another video in which we will continue working on Hergstag. I will complete this encounter and maybe we'll get done the rest of Hergstag. But Hergstag is going to be a little bit of a process due to the number of rebuild and custom encounters I am adding and stuff like that. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to keep checking out the series. I'm intending on taking the rest of this campaign into completion through this process. And then once it's done, or at least mostly done, I will... Well, I won't be running this campaign until my Age of Ashes campaign is done, no matter what. So, but I do intend on doing this series until completion. Just because maybe people will find it interesting. Not only seeing a conversion, but seeing ChatGPT used to make that conversion. And maybe understanding how FGU works more. I know Foundry is the more popular one, but I've invested too much into FGU to switch out to Foundry. So even if I like certain elements of Foundry, I'm sticking to FGU anyways. But either way, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, have yourselves a good day.